sadness, despair, disappointment, upset. It's ruined. I've heard all of this and more in regards to E3 2018 after so many of the surprises and so many of the games have been spoiled. But fear not, my friends, there is still reason to hope. And that's why this video is bringing you 7 games to get super excited about for E3 2018. What's going on, guys and girls? It's Ghost Robo, and whether it be rumor, leak, or straight up reveal, it feels like we know a ton of what's going to be at E3 next month. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Battlefield V have their community events in just a few days. Shadow of the Tomb Raider already had its event. We know a ton from the Walmart.com leak list that feels all but confirmed after Rage 2 is actualized, and that list held such surprises as Gears of War 5, a new Splinter Cell, another Assassin's Creed, and Just Cause 4. The Pokemon rumors have hit a fever pitch, and it feels like the Eevee is already out of that bag. Sony straight up said the 4 games that they're focusing on, so what the heck is left? And is this E3 ruined before it even gets going? Well, I really feel that's not the case, and there are still so many superstar titles to get excited about, so let's dive straight in. We'll begin with the biggest, and probably the game that has the biggest potential to shock the show, and that is Starfield. Bethesda has another press conference, and they've stated this will be their most packed event yet. What are they going to show? Well, Rage 2 is already out there, and if we're to believe Pete Hines, that was the plan all along. Maybe the leak accelerated things, but if they intended to show Rage 2 before the show, it means they've got something even better for us when we reach the Sunday before E3. And all signs are pointing to Starfield. I've heard rumors about Doom 2, maybe they're bringing Fallout to Switch, but Starfield is where it's at, and it's the kind of game that really could steal the entire E3 and be what everyone is talking about. If you're not aware, Starfield is supposedly the amalgamation of Fallout and Elder Scrolls, but in space. And while there's no official confirmation that this even exists, it definitely is there. Last year around this time, we got a big info dump about what the game supposedly is all about, and it's an interplanetary space opera a la Star Wars, with a whole lot of RPG elements and a ton of procedurally generated content. It really sounds like the evolution of Bethesda's formula, and if they do what they did with Fallout 4, where they wheel this wonderful game out and then say, hey, it's coming this fall, that would be a megaton. Bethesda currently has nothing releasing in this year's holiday season, so it needs to be something, and I'm sure it's going to be at the show. I just hope that it's Starfield. Next up, we've got Nintendo, and if we're to believe rumors that the Pokemon games will be unveiled in an event later this month, they have to have some surprises behind that curtain. We know about Smash, we know about Yoshi, we expect Fire Emblem, but I really feel like there will be something more that blows us away. Whether it's a new entry in the Pikmin franchise or Animal Crossing, maybe even a brand new IP or a super unexpected third-party partnership, I feel like Nintendo is the platform holder with all the excitement right now. Because Microsoft had some of their stuff leaked from that Walmart.com list, and they just seem to be in a weird spot. Sony has stated the 4 pillars of their press conference. Nintendo is more mysterious, and that is always super exciting. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Pikmin 4, to see a new Mario Party, or maybe even a really cool updated port of Mario Maker. Perhaps Pokemon does get an E3 reveal, and that of course would be incredibly exciting. Maybe even Star Fox Grand Prix, and while that has been rumored, seeing gameplay is always so sweet, and knowing Retro Studios' pedigree, it should be a pretty awesome game. So I'm really excited to see the big red curtain drop when Nintendo presents on Tuesday morning, and I think you will be pretty pumped as well. Let's move to a known game, but one we know very little about, and that's Ghost of Tsushima from Sucker Punch. They're the folks behind the awesome Infamous franchise, and after working with superheroes, they're now going samurai, and they say this is the evolution of their open world style games, and we are going to get a deep dive at Sony's press conference. It's one of 4 games, but I feel it's the most exciting because it has the least known about it. We basically understand what Last of Us is, and while Part 2 will definitely bring in new elements, and I can't tell you how excited I am to see what the story is all about, we've experienced it before. Spider-Man is super cool, but that game's been at many an E3, and I feel like Death Stranding is so far away, whatever we do witness won't really be actualized until a few years down the line. Therefore, it's Ghost of Tsushima that I believe will anchor Sony's show and be the coolest thing. I can't quite predict or expect what it will be, but from playing Infamous, you know it's going to look great, you know it's going to control great, and I think that they will tap into something super special and super deserving of one of those tentpole slots for Sony and their press conference at E3. Next up, we've got Cyberpunk 2077 from CD Projekt Red, and there's no official confirmation of what will be shown at E3 or if it'll even be there in a notable capacity, but I think all signs are pointing to something of the sort. Whether it be a press conference or an individual event, I cannot wait to see what this game is all about. I will admit to you, I'm not the biggest Witcher 3 fan. I respect and appreciate what the game does, but something about the setting and the world and the characters just doesn't work for me. And this more futuristic take on their RPG prowess is so enticing, and I cannot wait to see what they deliver. We understand the concept, we know what they're known for, but how will they bring it all together in this brand new bold RPG? Hopefully we find out in just a few weeks. Ooh, this one is super near and dear to my heart because I love the franchises that they've done before, and that's From Software's newest project. And notice I said franchises they've done before because it's been stated that this new game will be not only the focus of their E3 presence, but it's not directly tied to Dark Souls, Demon's Souls, or Bloodborne. And while that may disappoint some who are hoping for a sequel, I think it's super freaking alluring. How will they take the gameplay and the stylings they're known for and bring it to something that still feels original? And how will the vibes we got from that initial teaser trailer play into the combat and the characters of whatever this game is? I don't know if they're prepping a 2018 release or more than likely a 2019 release, but nonetheless, we should really see where the studio is headed, and that will be so freaking awesome because all those games are quality. They have established their own genre within the games industry, and now that they're saying, hey, we want to branch out and do something bold, that is freaking awesome. So how could you not be excited for something new from the people that brought you some of the most difficult, frustrating, but also rewarding games of the last few decades? This is one to watch for, and one that I personally cannot wait to see. After From Software's new, let's go to Capcom's return to Devil May Cry in the form of 5. This game is rumored to be at E3, and while there aren't many details, it will be super exciting to see Dante come back in a next-gen capacity. Personally, I love Ninja Theory's entry, but I know a lot are excited for the return to form, so for fans of this franchise and fans of E3, this will be a great moment at the show if it ends up happening. Last but not least is Anthem from EA and BioWare. And while this is a game that we know exists and have seen before, it's one that has a ton of systems, mechanics, and ideas under wraps, so getting a full picture will be really cool. And it matters a lot because we've heard that BioWare is kind of attaching their entire existence to this game. And while it did get moved to early 2019, I'm sure we'll see enough to show if this is a Destiny killer or just another Destiny wannabe, and what that means for BioWare and EA. I really feel like BioWare needs to be careful after Mass Effect Andromeda, and EA needs to be careful after Battlefront 2, but hopefully they have enough new ideas and exciting concepts that microtransactions and past misses aren't even a part of the Anthem conversation. I'm really pumped to see if this is a Destiny game that I can devote myself to, and how they evolve the ideas laid forth by past console MMO-styled shooters and what they bring new to the loot spectrum. The idea and the world looked great in the initial reveal. Hopefully now they can back it up. That's my list from Starfield to Nintendo, Ghost of Tsushima to Cyberpunk 2077, From's new project, Devil May Cry 5, and Anthem. There are more games that I couldn't fit into this list, but I promise you E3 still has surprises that I couldn't even add if I wanted to. There's always something that stuns us, and I know that this show will be no different. While we're not getting PlayStation 5, and while many of the secrets seem to already be out there, I think there are still good reasons to get excited for this year's show. It's my favorite week of the year, every year, and for a kid at heart, it feels like a second Christmas. So please don't be sad, and even if you were most excited for a Splinter Cell, a Gears, or a Pokemon, seeing the games will still be really cool. We know they exist, but what's it like? How have they changed? How have they evolved? There's plenty of reason to be pumped, and if I'm proven wrong, then hey, it's a really off year, but look at the list I just gave you. Those games are super cool, and we know very little about all of them. And then there's the unpredictable element as well, and it may not be from Sony, it may not be from Microsoft, but somebody is going to deliver something that really makes us go, huh, what was that? Personally, I'm hoping for Plants vs. Zombies to make a return to console in some capacity. I don't know if it's too soon, I don't know if it's too early, but Garden Warfare 3 or something new altogether, yes please. And I'm sure you have a game that you're excited for. So dig into that a little. feel the fun, and get ready for June. I cannot wait to experience it with you. I'll be there all week at all the big events covering all the major games. I'm really going to dig deep to get you as much good content as possible this year, so make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from E3. You can follow my Switch channel if you want to get all the Nintendo details over there at Switch Force, and let's get pumped because we're 3.5 weeks away and I can't freaking wait. Thanks so much, guys and girls, for being a part of the channel, and hopefully you'll be a part of the E3 2018 adventure. But until next time, I love you, drink some hot chocolate, and we will see you all later.